And away we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in the Wednesday edition of the Rob Brown Show starts right now. Hello, all you beautiful, beautiful people out there. How's it going? How's your week thus far? I hope it's excellent, my dudes. I am Rob Brown. Seated on the other side of the metaphorical glass, as always, he is my co-host, the executive producer, the alpha and the omega of the fan upstate. The great one himself, Lonzo, is here as well. What is up, Zo?
I think we should take this show remote and go out and sit in that boat that's out in the parking lot.
Y'all.
So when my dude comes out, we'll be like, hey, we're doing the radio show. Take your time.
There is parked across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 parking spots in our parking lot. Our parking lot, which, by the way, within the next hour will be largely full. Across 9 parking spots is a tank of a truck pulling a, 21, 24 foot, very nice.
I was going to say, you've probably been on one of those, so you can judge it.
It's a beautiful Sea Fox fishing boat with the dual Suzuki 150 outboards on the back.
Look at you.
Good looking boat. Got the power pole up on the front, the trolling motor with it. Clearly, my dude is a deep sea fisherman because he's got the 4-banger outriggers on the outside. He's got, probably 7, 8 deep sea fishing poles on the outside of it. All well and good. Don't get me wrong, Lonzo. I am sincerely envious of the machinery that my dude's working with out here.
It's nice and clean too. I just want to point that out.
It's a beautiful boat. It's a beautiful truck, big hauling truck, big hauling pickup truck. What is that? That's it's like a Ram 25.
Yeah, I've talked about trucks before, and you know how some people can't drive it. If you got to haul that around, you need a truck like that.
It's a beautiful set of equipment that my dude is clearly taken over to the coast to get some offshore fishing done. But you said he got here what? Just a tick after 8 o'clock?
Yeah, right around the time that I got here. Yeah.
So for like an hour, my man has been eating up 9 or 10 of the highly coveted parking spots in the lot. And all we can figure is...
Well, you said that's a dentist over there, right?
Right next door is a dentist.
Yeah, so maybe he's getting
on the other side of him is a restaurant. But that restaurant's not open.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's open yet. It may have just opened if it is.
That means my guy's like, I'm gonna head over to Chucktown to put the boat down and do some offshore fishing. Very envious of that. But before I do that, let me make sure the chiclets are good.
Yeah, you gotta get them cleaned up nice.
I respect that.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
There's probably some dentist out there that are jealous that that the dentist next door has a patient that's like, you know what, before I go grab some fins offshore, let me make sure that the chompers aren't rotting on me.
Or maybe he got some dental work done and he's using that as a reason to be off work, and then he's heading to the ocean. I mean,
respect that.
Could be.
I respect that entirely.
You know what I don't respect? All them parking spots that he's taking up right now. That's a lot of parking spots.
It is a lot of parking spots. You're not wrong.
So what is the decorum if you have if you're hauling something of that size? What should you do if you have to go get some stuff done?
I mean, I don't know what else the guy could do at this point.
Maybe park at Lowe's and walk over. It's not going to be as noticeable there as it will be taking up all our spots.
I'm just saying, and my man ate up damn near an entire row of parking spots with a truck. I'm not mad at him. I get it. You got to park it somewhere, I guess.
And everyone's rolling in, just looking at it like either they're admiring it or they're going, "Are you serious? Where am I supposed to park?"
You cootie queen. You lint liquor. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. The Rob Brown Show's on your radio. It is the Fan Upstate. Plenty sports to talk about. It is Masters weekend. We had the dinner last night to get everything started. All the green jackets were in the same building. Was it awkward? Not really. I do think As I said yesterday, this is going to be the most compelling Masters tournament, maybe ever, certainly in a long time. There have been some in the past where guys like Eldrick were going for records, where they were trying to accomplish some history, and there was something there. But, in golf, when you're going for a legacy, when you're going for a record, when you're going for whatever, the majority of the time, it's you versus the golf course, right? It's not that other guys are out there specifically angling to, say, knock off Tiger and prevent him from getting green jacket number what? It's always been, it's Tiger versus the course, right? It's Tiger versus the course. But this year is different. This year is different because the Live Tour guys are trying to prove that they are as good as the guys on tour. The guys on tour are trying to prove that the Live Tour makes you SAWFT soft. So they will be paying attention to each other. But last night, the dinner went off well. Scotty Scheffler, last year's Masters champ, in charge. He's a Texas fella. So he cooked up, Zoe, for the Masters dinner, a tradition unlike any other. A nice big T-bone steak with some mashed taters for everybody. And then maybe the most unappreciated dessert of all time. You can't get it everywhere because it just requires a lot. But a skillet-cooked chocolate chip cookie covered in vanilla bean ice cream.
Yeah, that's
top-tier dessert.
That is nice. I'm just curious, did you expect it to be a pro wrestling scrum at some point at the dinner? Like they're glaring the entire time and someone bumps into someone and then there we go. It's full on food fight. I mean,
not at the dinner because it's the Masters, right? Like, I don't care how big your rivalry is. There's times and places you shut it down, right? It's like if you were the type of dude who's got the little brother and you guys go at it all the time, but when mom and dad take you out to the nice dinner and you start acting up, that's when they're like, hey, not the time, not the place.
Sounds like you speak from experience with that.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. So I didn't expect it to go down at the Masters dinner because listen, the Masters is also a place where if you act up at the Masters dinner, guess where you're not going to be Thursday morning? At the Masters.
Exactly. If you're a vegan, do you go to that dinner? I guess you can't, can you?
I think you can request something special. I'm sure that there's at least one vegan in that group, right?
I don't know. I kind of want a T-bone now.
Yes.
The
days I don't want a T-bone worry about me. Something's gone wrong. I've seen a lot of
No. I meant right now.
No, again.
Okay. All right.
The moments in my life where I would not go, yeah, I'll take a T-bone for breakfast, steak and eggs, remains undefeated. It is the best breakfast.
It sounds like a 1%er meal to me, but I don't hate you for it.
Do you have to be a 1%er to eat steak? No.
Well,
eggs? No. We just put them on the same plate. You have to be a
1%er. Which is more expensive right now, eggs or steak? I don't know.
You have to be a 1%er to eat good steak.
Ah, okay.
But not just steak. Anybody can make a flank steak and throw some scrambled eggs on it. Nothing wrong with that. The Masters dinner is not where I expected the brouhaha to begin. In fact, yesterday, during the practice round, during the day, some of the Live Tour guys and PGA Tour guys were practicing together. Rory and who was it? Not DeChambeau. Anyway, Rory and one of the other guys got out there and had a practice round together. So I'm not shocked by it. I'm not surprised that they're playing nice right now because it's the Masters. Augusta is run by your parents who say if you bleep around before the tournament, you will find out on tournament day. I am just jacked about tomorrow. Round one, we're going to have guys going out right around 10 a.m. And you better believe that Rob Brown will have, right here on the computer in front of me, live coverage of the Masters for 4 straight days, from about 10 a.m. till about 5 p.m. until Sunday when they hand out a green jacket on 18 at Augusta. I'll be plugged in. Both because the Masters itself is the best golf tournament on planet Earth, A, and B, because this is the first time, maybe ever, that it is not guys versus the course. It is guys versus other guys versus the course. And I'm excited about that. We'll talk more about that tomorrow and later on in the week. Got a few more other things I want to get into. The ratings for the women's tournament dropped Monday. The ratings for the men's tournament dropped yesterday. Now, I said yesterday on the show that I would not be surprised if the women's tournament ratings Sunday afternoon were higher than the men's tournament ratings late Monday night or late Monday night East Coast. They were not. They were close. The women's tournament averaged 10 million viewers, hit a spike in the third quarter of about 12.5 million viewers. The men's tournament averaged just over 14 million viewers. Now, they did not surpass the men's tournament finals. As I said yesterday on the show, I would not have been surprised if they did, but I was in no way, shape, or form going to guarantee that they would. What I am going to say is what the women turned in is still a ridiculous number, and it still deserves to be celebrated. The men playing late on a Monday night could have probably done a better number. But I also wonder if the women couldn't have done a better number if they weren't playing in the middle of the afternoon on a Sunday. What time did that game tip off? Like 2:15 in the afternoon? So the question mark now is, should we create a Final Four carnival where the men's and women's teams play in the same place at the same time, right? Friday night in Dallas, you have the women's Final Four. Saturday night in Dallas, you have the men's Final Four. Sunday afternoon or night in Dallas, you have the women's natty. Monday afternoon or night, you have the men's natty. Is that a good idea or bad idea for college basketball as a whole and for women's college basketball, which is now sharing a stage with similar numbers to the men's? I say absolutely they should. But there is a voice in women's college basketball, a pretty loud one. I would say maybe the authority in women's college basketball that said no, that the women's tournament has now done enough to justify having its own event in its own facility on its own schedule. We'll talk about that later on in the show. We have got a little bit of NBA coming up because with most teams having 2 or 3 games remaining in the regular season, the play-in races are good. The race to the 1 seed is good. We're going to take a breakdown of where everybody stands power ranking-wise right now with just a few days left in the NBA's regular season. We'll get to that. Lonzo, we have the ratings of another massive sporting event from the weekend. The Pickleball Slam Championships aired this weekend, and the numbers are out for that. And I got to tell you, in a weird way, I'm kind of fascinated by them. I'm kind of fascinated in the direction that this pickleball thing is growing. I'm kind of fascinated by the attention that people are paying to it, the celebrities that have gotten invested in it. And I wonder, wonder if this might lead to more niche sports getting the opportunity to break into the mainstream. We'll talk about that coming up later on in the show as well. And the South Carolina Gamecocks women's basketball program has now seen an influx of talent out. They have seen a number of high-level players, including 2 more yesterday, decide that their time in Columbia is done. They're out. It is time for a rebuild in Columbia for the women's team. Can Dalton Staley get it done? We're going to talk about that later on in the show. And when we come back here in just a minute, big week in trash talk. We had Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark on Monday. Now we have got a rivalry that's been brewing for a couple of years now that seems to be coming to a head in Major League Baseball. I want to talk a little bit about sports etiquette on the field from the perspective of those of us that are off of it. Who you got? The smack talker, the smack talkie. We'll talk baseball etiquette and sports etiquette when we come back. I'm Rob. Lonzo's at the helm. You're listening to The Rob Brown Show. You're listening to the Fan Upstate. All right, guys, got a live read. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
And they may be able to help your business too. There's no upfront charge either. They don't get paid until your business gets its refund. Many businesses believe they won't qualify based off income.
Good morning, everybody. And Chris, the hot wings thing is intriguing, but it's also, you got to remember, got to be able to talk the rest of the show. I'm guessing that Rob can handle the hot more than I can.
Portfolios like the rest of us? No cookie cutter portfolios here. Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to meet each client's goals and needs. But you do sell investments.
All right. Good morning, everyone.
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission investment products, and we never earn commissions on trades. So what's in it for you? Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. When it comes to helping clients achieve a comfortable retirement, we're clearly different. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involved in risk of loss. Sponsored by Taco Bell.
That's unacceptable, Luke, and you're going to have to deal with that smell all day.
Burnt pot. The smell of well-buttered popcorn is untouchable. I was second most excited when we saw that movie last week, just for a big tub of butter popcorn, which I destroyed. Burnt popcorn makes me sad because it's a waste of perfectly good snack foods. The Rob Brown Show is on your radio. It is the Fan Upstate. I am Rob Brown. The great one, Lonzo, on the other side of the metaphorical glass. Show's open for you to participate as well. The GilstrapFamilyDealerships.com phone line is open right now at 844-FANFONE. That's 844-326-3663. The text line is open right now. It's 71307, 71307. Start your text with FAN, F-A-N, FAN, F-A-N, and we will read them on the air. You can tweet us at The Rob Brown Show. You can tweet us at Lonzo on Word. You can tweet us at The Fan Upstate, and make sure you go check out the live stream at Facebook.com/The Fan Upstate, Twitter.com/The Fan Upstate. Or go to YouTube and search The Fan Upstate, or go to Twitch and search The Rob Brown Show. All of those are open and available for you to watch the live stream. We do all 3 hours. You can come in, watch the show live, listen to the show while you watch it, and interact with Lonzo and I off the air between breaks, as well as the entire Rob Brown Show armada. Online, they're the Rob Bots, because I like that name. Almost, Lonzo, as much as I love Ray D and Dio. I'm just a marketing genius.
See, the Rob Bots thing, he's just enjoying it because he knows I don't like it. So, I mean, you know.
The audacity of you, sir.
I mean, you know,
if
if you're on the stream, you could see that he was watching to see my reaction, and I wasn't even looking at him, but I knew what he was doing.
The Rob Bots love it. All right. Boat talking in professional sports. In the women's national championship game, it was disappointing to me that the conversation on Monday morning was not about how excellent of a game LSU versus Iowa was. It was about, should we condemn Angel Reese for boat talking Caitlin Clark to her face. There was a conversation about whether or not boat talking is appropriate, whether the boat talk should be reserved for the bench, not the court. There was a conversation about, is Angel Reese taking smack because she's black? Did Caitlin Clark get off the hook because she's white? There were all these conversations going on that were louder than the conversation about the game itself. And that was, to me, disappointing. Well, Caitlin Clark continues her rise up the Rob Brown Show's favorite athletes power ranking, as Caitlin Clark said yesterday that no one should be going after Angel Reese. Said that she doesn't have a problem with the smack talk. She says, we are both competitors. This is what we do. Leave Angel alone, says Caitlin Clark. She said, look, it's competitive. It's basketball. There's going to be boat talk. I did it too. Angel should not be taking heat for this, which I respect the hell out of Caitlin Clark, right? If you are going to engage in the boat talk, it requires you to recognize that at some point, should you get taken to the yard, you're going to hear it back threefold. And that brings us to professional baseball. The Toronto Blue Jays have an ace by the name of Alex Manoah. Now, I love Alex Manoah. The dude can absolutely bleeping deal off the bump. He is also one of the most demonstrably intense players in all of Major League Baseball. Alex Manoah has, as the kids say, no chill. There's zero chill in the life of Alex Manoah. On the flip side was their opponents from earlier this week.
So when you say no chill, you mean they're just always angry?
It's just always on.
Yeah, there's some guys like that around here.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And I think it is fair when in the heat of battle to have no chill. Because that's, for a lot of players, that's where their success comes from, right? It is playing with rage. I would like to rage. Playing with intensity. But you'd like to think you don't have to do that in your day-to-day life, but, you know, some people can't. Manoah got no chill. Manoah is frequently known for putting a guy down, K-ing him, send him back to the pine, and then, of course, letting him know all about it on the long walk from the batter's box back to the dugout. Last year, there was a very heated competition, and Alex Manoah on the bump for the Jays put back-to-back Ks on French Cordero and Bobby Dahlbeck of the Boston Red Sox. He gave Cordero everything he wanted, and after racing an 82-mile-an-hour disgusting slider past Dahlbeck, looked at him and said, "Sit the bleep down." And it turns out, you know what Bobby Dahlbeck had to do? He had to go sit the bleep down because he got K'd. He whiffed, he fanned, and he got K'd. Well, there's an outfielder for the Red Sox by the name of Verdugo, and he is not a fan. Alex Verdugo plays outfield for the Sox, and he went on a podcast called Baseball is Boring, where he talked a little bit about Alex Manoah and what Alek Manoah is known for, that intensity. He said, quote, "If it's a genuine reaction and it's for the boys, not directed towards somebody, then yeah, it's fine. Like, I'll say it right now. I think Alek Manoah goes about it the wrong way. 100% I think he does. You can find videos of him, footage of him in AAA going like this to hitters. Last year telling Franchi and Bobby, like, go sit, boat like that, and looking right at them. So it's like boat like that just bleeps me off. It's not the way it should be played. It should be played like you're celebrating it with your team, not you're bleeping, disrespecting another player who is, at the end of the day, we're just trying to compete. That's it. Manoah has been taking heat from the Red Sox for a hot minute. After the K's of Cordero and Dahlbeck last year, some of the Bo Sox apparently wanted to approach Alek Manoah and have a little bit of conversation. Cooler heads did prevail and cool them off enough to get him back to the bench. But that was not the end of it. Last August, Alek Manoah tried to throw a high-tide slider on Aaron Judge. You'll remember Aaron Judge as a potential AL Player of the Year candidate last year. He's very good at baseball.
He's also a very large man who you probably don't want to get mad at you.
Aaron Judge goes 6'7", roughly 255. He's a man. Alonzo, Alek Manoah goes 6'5.5", 240.
Okay, never mind.
Correct. Manoah's one of the few dudes that if Aaron Judge was to charge the hill, wouldn't really be giving much up to Aaron Judge.
So now that I know his size, all the stuff he's talking makes a little more sense.
Yes. Let me go ahead and tell you. I've told you guys on the air, Rob Brown's never been in a fist fight in his life. Predominantly because I've heard getting punched in the face sucks.
Yeah, it's not pleasant.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid it as long as possible. But at the same time, Rob Brown has been in bars where bar fights have happened. And checking in at about 6'3.5", and in my more formidable days, about 245, I have been told by a number of fellas, yeah, I wouldn't want anything to do with you. And I got no problem letting them continue to believe that I can scrape. I don't know if I can or not. Never tried it. Manoah goes 6'5", 245-ish. There's not many guys in baseball that are going to go nose to nose with Manoah. Most of them are going to go like nose to neck at best. So Manoah's got that confidence that comes with being not just dominant, but more often than not, when he's playing anybody but the Yankees, the biggest guy on the field. And Manoah thrives off of that intensity. When Alek Manoah gets into that zone where he's telling guys to sit the bleep down, not a lot of guys can touch his stuff. He's nasty, right? Last year, he threw a high tight on Aaron Judge. Aaron tried to bail out. Ball capped him on the back of the tricep. Judge was not super thrilled about it. Kind of hung the bat down, gave a couple of steps towards Manoah, gave him the old what for. Garrett Cole was the ace for the Yanks. He was off that night. Garrett Cole was not happy about him going high and tight and putting the old HBP on a Judge. Garrett Cole came out of the dugout, started making his way out towards Alek Manoah. Garrett Cole then recognizing at 5'11", 6 foot, probably not my best decision, stopped about halfway between the dugout and the first baseline. Manoah and Cole were giving it back and forth. Garrett Cole went back to the dugout. After that game, Alek Manoah was asked about the confrontation and said if Garrett wants to do something about it, he can walk past the Audi sign next time. Halfway between the dugout and first base is a big spray-painted Audi advertisement on the field. Tells you exactly how dialed in Alek Manoah was. He not only saw where Garrett Cole stopped, he recognized that it was an Audi advertisement and said, hey, next time you want to say something, next time you want to do something, come on, big dog. Bring it to me. Don't stop halfway. Get up here. Let's go. Now, in fairness, after that game was over, Alek Manoah made his way over to Aaron Judge, apologized to Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge and Alek Manoah shook hands and went their separate ways. Seemed to say, look, I really wasn't trying to hit you, man. That's my bad. And Judge accepted the apology. But in the game, Alek Manoah was ready to go. and certainly looked like he was about ready to take on the New York Yankees, like as a whole. Just, I'll take every one of you. Be like a Bugs Bunny cartoon. Line them up, knock them down. This has led to a nice little three-way rivalry. The Red Sox and the Yankees hate each other, which is great. And now the Blue Jays, courtesy of Alek Manoah, have injected themselves into this rivalry as well, courtesy of Alex Manoah telling guys to sit the bleep down. And if you want to fight, bring it to me. Don't stop halfway like a chicken boat. Let's go. Here's my question. What is your thoughts on boat talking at the professional level? Hell, at the college level, right? Caitlin Clark dropped a "you can't see me" a number of times throughout the tournament. Angel Reese dropped one back on her and then gave her the old, "this ring finger's about to be decorated, homie." And there were a lot of people who hated it and a lot of people who loved it. Alek Manoah, for 2 years in Toronto now, has been fanning batters and telling them to sit the bleep down. Now there's a couple of guys firing back at him, saying you're not playing the game the right way. If you want to celebrate with your guys, celebrate with your guys, but don't celebrate in the face of my guys. Now, baseball's weird because they have the whole unwritten rule thing, which I think is, what's the word? Dumb. I think it's dumb. It's my least favorite thing about baseball. But that has been one since I was a kid, right? You don't admire yourself in the face of the bad guys. You celebrate your success with the good guys. And this has been something I've heard around baseball circles for as long as I've played or watched the game. However, I don't have a problem with it. My response there would be, if Alek Manoah K's you on an 82-mile-an-hour down-and-away slider that you get fooled by, and he tells you to sit the bleep down, there's a really good way to get him back. Next time you go up there, don't fan at an 82-mile-an-hour slider. Put it into play. Giancarlo Stanton, send it another 456. And make sure you give him the look the entire trot around the bases. In basketball, you know what the best way to keep Caitlin Clark from dumping the "you can't see me" is? Go beat her by 20 and prevent her from getting a ring. You think Caitlin Clark was looking at LSU, hitting him with the hand in the face when she was walking back to the locker room ringless? No, bro. Not at all. I don't have any problem in sports with smack talk. I don't have any problem in sports with talking boat to each other, with the understanding that when you get got, because everybody in sports gets got, when you get got, it's going to come back. It's going to come back threefold. I've said this before. I don't care that athlete is a role model for my children. That's not on them. Don't act that way. Kids might see it. Okay? And it is what it is. Professional athlete is a game. Professional sports is a game played by professional athletes who are grown up, and it is not their job to parent your child. That's your job. If it's too much for you, then wean your little snowflake off sports because it's not for them. But Angel Reese getting taken down is no bueno. She got hers back when she put on a ring. Alek Manoah being told that he's doing it the right way. Is he? Because last year he finished with a sub-2 ERA. As far as I'm concerned, that's about the best you could ask for a guy that's going to be in Cy Young contention this year. That's on everybody else for getting mad at a guy for kicking boat and taking names in the game.
See, that's the real problem here. I mean, if the guy talking smack is like 5'2" and you know, he's compensating for the fact that he's really short, you know, that short man syndrome guy who's always, yappy. That's one thing. But when it's a dude that size talking stuff to you, if you don't like it, you're right. The way to shut him up is to get up there and hit it into the stands. Because it's a mental game too. And if you're getting ready to go up to bat and you know that he's pitching, you're like, oh man, this guy, he's already in your head. He's playing a mental game with you, and he's already beat you before you got up there.
Yeah. Look.
And then laughing at you while you go sit down.
I was not a very good pitcher, as is evidenced by the fact that I'm not one anymore.
Well, you would have been retired by now because you are.
That's true. I'm ancient.
Yeah, you are. Well,
now pitchers can threaten 40 more than quarterbacks can. If I was great, I'd have had a chance. Or Randy Johnson didn't retire till he was like 43.
So you're saying you'd be a reliever right now?
I'd be like a bullpen, like a middle reliever kind of guy. I wasn't great, but I was pretty good in high school. I had some heat. I could touch 88 as a fastball in high school.
Like Al Bundy level of grade in high school?
No.
Okay,
no.
Just curious.
I was high 80s with the fastball and a nasty little curveball, breaking ball that I could run by guys. And I had a bit of a reputation, and there was nothing I loved more standing on the bump than when a guy came to the plate and I knew there was insecurity in there, right? I knew that guy knew that I was going to get him because now I'd be uber aggressive. You know what broke Rob Brown? 11th grade, when a guy, and I can't remember the guy's name, but this guy was a phenomenal baseball player. He went about 6'6" as a high schooler, who was talking boat to me on the way to the plate. I gave it back to him, and then you know what he did? He took a Rob Brown heater, and he exited Shalimar Little League Park with it. Planted it about 3 rows deep in the parking lot over the left field wall. And you know what Rob Brown had to do? Watch him touch every base. And when he got to home plate, Lonzo, he blew me a kiss. And you know what sucked about it for Rob Brown, who was not adverse to a little boat talk off the bump? There wasn't a damn thing I could do about it. Nothing. Nothing I could do about it. If you want these guys to stop, beat them. If you don't want them to do it because my kids are watching, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell. Sorry. Maybe just sports ain't for your kid, because that happens at every level. It's part of the game. Now, if guys take it off the floor, you got to have a conversation. But it's not on Alex Manoah to make sure that the feelings of the Boston Red Sox are intact. I don't care. As Manoah said, I got one job. Get guys out. I'm not worried about if they're upset when they get to the bench because they're out. I don't care if they feel wonderful or feel like their whole world has crashed down around them when they get out. My only job is to make sure they get out. We got to stop being so sensitive to this stuff, you guys. We just do. Let's take a break. When we come back here in just a minute, I know you guys aren't hockey guys. I am. Hockey players are a different breed of dude. There was an injury in a Nashville Predators game a couple of days ago that I have to tell you about. Not because of the injury, but because of the response to it. Tell you what that is when we come back on the Rob Brown Show. This is the Fan Upstate.
Sure you get with that camera angle? Because I have no idea what that thing is sticking out. And it's probably no. Look at that. No, yeah, that thing. What is that?
It's a spring on the mic stand. I can jump the mic down, stand down some.
Well, also,
I think I'm loud enough that I don't need it in my face, right?
Well, no, I'd rather you. I'm used to your levels where they are.
Fair enough.
But you're also blocking the banner.
Oh, the flag. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, there's just some things that you're. Yeah.
Yeah, I might have to move it back.
And now that you told me it's a spring, I get it. But before that,
That's fair.
Didn't you see me keep looking? I continue looking, like trying to figure out why. What is that?
I'm not going to turn the mics off. I'm just going to put that down so I don't make everybody motion sick while I do this.
sports all year long. Download the Odyssey app, search the Fan Upstate, and listen anywhere on your phone. I'm Chuck Sanders with the Sports Flash on the Fan Upstate.
Yes, James, I know you can still hear it. You're right. Optics. I just didn't like the look.
My family drank the Camp Lejeune water. What if our health gets worse and we need more financial aid?
How do I protect the team benefits? What is compensation I deserve is me.
The answer is
All right, ladies and gents.
And as sure as there'll be some stumbles on that journey from first to home, we'll be ready.
Lonzo is always producing. That's why I wouldn't have anybody else.
This is baseball. And this is who we are. Ingles, we're with you every step of the way.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses.
Boat guy is still there.
Yeah.
Actual boat this time. Not
Yeah.
I'm
Are we
calling him.
going to do the entire show and that still be out there? That's
That would be messed up.
yeah.
We're,
Well, that-
we're already, what, an hour and a half?
That could be a sign of a breakdown now. I mean,
That's true.
if he's not moving, but I
I mean, he could have thrown an axle on the trailer.
he's been out there for an hour at least.
Oh, he's been out there now. If he got here when you got here, he's been here an hour and a half.
Yeah, that's true. Which we could care less, but he's taken up like 10 spots. You know. I secretly hope he comes out and all the geese are like in the back of the boat. That maybe the geese like smell fish on the rods and like, hey, there's food in there.
I need to get into a rec softball league or I used to play kickball, but I'm just at the point now where I'm so damn out of shape. I was going to say running. That would be a lie. I've started mildly jogging. And it used to be like I could go out and jog 2-3 miles, no problem. I can't make it down my street without wanting to die right now.
There's probably some doubts out there, but I walk 1.5 to 2 miles a day. But if I had to run it, I'd probably have some problems. And it's just mostly because of my knee. But in the mornings when I get my wrestling in, usually I watched NXT this morning. So, and the surprise ending for NXT, which I don't know if you know about.
I don't.
Okay. Don't spoil. No one spoil.
Hockey players are a different breed of cat, man. I've been around hockey for a couple of years. I used to work for the hockey team down in Pensacola. I work for the Swamp Rabbits now. I'm their in-arena MC, so I'm at most games, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night, by the way. A trio of home games for the Bits. Come on by. We'd love to see you. Let me tell you, how you can tell hockey dudes are a different breed of cat. Nashville Predators were playing a game about a week ago, and Matt Duchene plays forward for the Preds, left the game. They are trying to get him back on the ice because the Preds right now are right on the cusp of making the playoffs. Much younger team than they've been in the past. A lot of youth on this team. Not a ton of experience. They are working on getting themselves hopefully in and then gaining some valuable experience along the way. Matt Duchene's not been available. They are trying to get him back for the playoffs. He suffered an injury. Now, what injury was it? Dante Fabro, another forward for the Preds, in a game against the Toronto Maple Leafs about a week and a half ago, took a massive slap shot directed at the goal. Duchene was screening the goalie when it happened. Duchene had his left hand off the stick because when you're screening the goalie, you want to make yourself big so the goalie can't see the shot. And then when the shot comes in, you want to jump out of the way to give your sniper a shot at putting it, up or right before the goalie can have time to react.
So this is a friendly fire injury.
It is a friendly fire injury. Duchene, as he was pulling his hand back, took a 106-ish mile-an-hour slap shot off the end of his finger, which, Lonzo, is now no longer the end of his finger because the puck hit him so hard that it detached the tip of his ring finger off the bone. Like a slow roast rib, you pick it up and the meat just slides off the bone. But his finger.
I don't think you should have described it that way because that's nasty.
Duchene does the old shake it off thing, skates to the bench, pulls his hand out of the glove, shows the coaches. Two of the players on the bench in the video of it look at it, Zoe, and go, these are hockey players. It's mostly empty. We're good. These are hockey players. These dudes are used to some pretty graphic injuries. I'm just checking. Yeah, we're good. We're dry. Spilled a drink. No, I didn't. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, two of the players visibly recoil. Why? Because a tip of the dude's finger was missing. The bone was out. And when he pulled it out of the gloves, though, the tip of his finger stayed in the hockey glove. Somebody had to go in there and get it out. Here's the fun part about it. My dude is trying to make a return for the playoffs. He's like, tape it up, quit the bleeding, let me get back out there with the fellas. I'm trying to play. Hockey players are a different breed of dude.
I was going to say the Ronnie Lott of hockey now.
Yeah. That's the tip of his finger fell
So
off.
did the glove stop the bleeding? I mean, what happened when he pulled it out?
It just, the tip of the finger came off. It just fell off.
But was there like blood everywhere?
He skated like this to the bench. All the players were like, huh? Nope. He went into the locker room. He got it taped up. He went to the hospital. Now he's trying to get back on the ice. That's insanity. He lost half his finger and he wants. Damn, my guy. Let's take a break. Hour number 2 is around the corner on the Rob Brown Show in the Fan Upstate.
Yeah, I smell that. So it's worse than what you're saying.
No, it really wasn't that much.
Maybe I'm just have a
No,
really
it's just
good
that
sense of
monster
smell.
stink.
Smells just like yesterday for some reason. You are going a little bit further up on the board.
I promise you it's fine.
Yeah, okay. Because if I need to get someone in here, because I would hate for something to just suddenly stop functioning. That would be a problem.
I don't disagree. But it did not, first off, it didn't get under the board.
Okay.
Because this payroll tax refund is only available for a limited time. Go to getrefunds.com. That's getrefunds.
That's an awful lot for just a little bit of a
Lonzo,
spill.
making sure it's not sticky.
Okay. All right. All right.
Look, it's dry. I'm just getting
It
the
did not look
stick off
dry.
it.
to me. At least it's getting clean. I mean,
Correct.
there's that.
Like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even though it's a difficult job to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me.
Still remember when we first came to this building, they asked for studio suggestions and I asked for cup holders and they laughed at me. Who wouldn't appreciate cup holders? All employees would appreciate the cup holders.
I'll tell you right now,
It would have been a nice trend. It will look good. I mean, you know,
the last time I went into a
could
music
have
store,
sponsored the cup holders.
oh, that's a great.
Yeah.
We
mean,
should get a beer company to sponsor the couple. Inserting my monster into the Anheuser-Busch cup holder.
I prefer the Diet Dr.
The
Pepper
Diet
cup
Dr.
holder.
Pepper cup holders.
Yeah. Want to make it harder to say. So, you know.
There is nothing we won't sponsor, ladies and gentlemen.
Dazzling decal on Daisy's Donuts window. Bold banner at Barry's Barbershop. Prominent poster at Penny's on.
I saw the sign and it opened up my eyes. I saw the sign.
You know, we are a week away from Comic-Con.
I know. I'm going to go Saturday night.
How much am I going to regret how much money I spend?
I got a.
How much am I going to walk by something and hope it's gone when I come back so I don't buy it?
I can tell you the two things I'm spending money on every year. And by that, I mean the two I've gone to so far. There's a lady there who,
You just wanted to beat everybody else to it. That's all.
every year there's a lady who sells pint glasses that she etches stuff in.
Lady.
Person,
Yeah.
individual,
Uncertain.
who
but
sells
go ahead. Go
rocks
ahead.
and beer glasses
Yes.
that she sandblasts stuff in. I have bought two. The first year I bought a whiskey glass that says I drink and I know things. And then last year I bought a a pint glass that has +10 charisma etched into it. And I'm excited to see what new fun design she has that I impulsively spend money on this year.
Well, I got from the same place. I've got a large mug etched with Super Saiyan Goku on it, and looks pretty sweet in the game room. I don't drink out of it because it, you know.
Oh, my +10 charisma modifier class gets used all the time.
I also got a Thundercats thing from there, and I used that one.
Thundercats.
When I bought my Lion-O sword that year, I went ahead and bought a mug too, because you know. Do I want to go buy a Mandalorian helmet and go have the armorer sign it though? That would be kind of cool. I would get them all, James. Rob might not, but I would get them all probably. DBZ references. Rob's not an anime guy. The Cats, come on, Steven. Vehicles was lame.
Texter said, Rob, after that kid took you yard and blew you a kiss, did you get a participation trophy? That was my junior year.
You participated in getting rocked is what
I
happened.
got smoked, dude. I'll tell you what, it changes your psychology on the bump when you're like, oh no, that always works. Got rocked. I'm trying to remember the kid's name. I want to say he was a senior that year.
I just want to, it's okay if you don't remember because it has been a while.
It's been a long time. Actually, it's been 21 years. That home run is old enough to buy a beer now. That's how long it's been. And also, ow.
Although,
why did my knee just start hurting?
I remember Smith from North High School, one of my rivals in wrestling, and Pippin from South High School. So, I mean, I remember those guys, but wrestling's a little more, just want to, throw that out there.
I mean, it's more physical, but I promise you the intensity of staring that kid down in the box's next AB was the same as looking across the ring.
So the next time
I cannot let you win again.
There's no ring in amateur wrestling. It's mats, but that's okay. I'm just curious. The next time you got back up there and you were that pitch got called by your catcher, were you reluctant? Were you scared it would get rocked again?
Start with I don't remember because our coach John Maddox yanked me from the game. Like it was like, oh, you're done. Have a seat. I was probably sitting at 65, 70 pitches at that point. So, I mean, I was deep into it, but he was like, yeah, you've had enough. Yes, I did, coach. Yes, I did. I watched the rest of that game from the Pines.
Did that run cost you the game?
I don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember anything else about that game. I remember.
I was going to say, I think if that was the one, I think you'd remember it then.
I don't remember if we won or lost that game. I don't remember. I remember I gave it up after talking smack. I remember I got yanked from the game, and I remember having to look at that dude the next two ABs when I was not in there anymore. Like, oh, dude, you chased me. That's rough.
How'd he do against the other pitchers?
I don't remember.
Okay. All right.
I don't remember anything else about that game other than turning and watching the smoke come off the back of the baseball as he sailed it 3 rows deep into the parking lot.
It is amazing the sporting event moments that you're a part of that you actually remember and will for the rest of your life.
A painful number.
Like I said, I remember those two guys' names, but when we were talking with Dan Severin, they're, wrestlers remember for some reason, but I will always remember that.
Here you go. You know what? You know what I want on the text line right now? I want your glory stories. I want your glory story. What was that athletic moment that is still with you? Or your horror story? What is that moment from your athletic career, however long ago it may have been, that is still with you?
Ooh, I got one. It's my favorite. We were playing Lancaster because that's what it's called in Ohio. Here it's Lancaster. We were playing Lancaster, and it was our very first game, my first game starting as a senior, starting both ways. And on the film, I wish we still had it. The whole line like collapse, and then out of the middle, here I come. And I was playing defensive tackle on the 52 defense, left tackle, which we were offset from like 3 yards back off the line. And it's a gap defense. So you pick a gap, and the gap I went through, the line collapsed. The quarterback was doing this weird screen where he turned his weird thing where he turned his back to the line and then would turn around and throw the ball. When he turned around, I hit him. It's the only time I remember hearing the crowd because I could hear them just ooh. And then I stood up and they booed. And I heard the one coach who I could not stand, who I threw a pole vault pit on eventually, which was a good move for me. Was that Reitzel? I will always remember that.
I thought this story was in Ohio.
Oh, it was, but you could hear that. That was not a Southern accent, by the way. But you could hear him above the entire crowd that was booing me. I will always remember that.
It's a good one. I've got that one. I've got a high school junior year summer league ball story where it's not summer ball. It was a winter tournament. I don't know if I'm assuming you guys do it here. High school ball, we always had a winter classic right before the season started up. And we were playing Fort Walton Beach High, the rival. It was going to be Choctaw v. Fort Walton for the divisional title that year and a better seed in the playoffs. This game was like a let's set the tone before we meet in the regular season kind of game. Rob Brown had to check in late junior year, so this has been 0-2. I did not play much on this team. But our starting big man, Mike Doe, 7'2", and you can't teach that, was injured that game. Our other big man, Magic Hall, was out that game because he had something else to do that day. So Rob Brown had to go, knocked out a game winner, buzzer-beating 3 because our main dude got double teamed. He threw me the rock, and I had to take the shot, knocked it down, and got celebrated. I believe that might have also been the last shot I hit my junior year. So, there it is. So what is your glory story or your horror story? I really kind of want the horror stories, but what is your...
I don't, man. Get your time to shine, dude.
What is your glory story or your horror story from your athletic career growing up? And if you played college ball and you got a college story, give it to me. If you were a pro and you got a pro glory or horror story, hit me up with that as well. I'm looking for him. Texas said it was Little League soccer. Love it. Give me your Little League stories. Little League soccer, but I was a pretty decent goalie. One match, there was a puddle right in front of the goal. It was a huge mud pit. Finally had my chance to dive for the ball, slipped in the mud, and pretty sure I went under. It was going to be an epic save. As my muddy face looked up from the puddle, I watched the ball slowly trickle in. Yeah, I think every goalie's got one of those. Sophomore year, as a goalkeeper, took one off the face that ricocheted into the back of the net. Never forget that. Crestview High School, off the nose, ricocheted into the net. Never forget that one.
That's not an own goal, though, because it was...
It's...
Okay, I mean, kind of.
If you were pro, it absolutely would count.
Is it?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't think they charged me with it. Texas said, I was pitching in a Babe Ruth youth league baseball game and got a migraine. I had a black hole in the center of my vision. I don't know where I was throwing the freaking ball after. Oh, God. A migraine mid-start. Oof.
Yeah, that happens to me here on occasion, and I have no idea what just happened. So
I've seen the look.
I can't imagine throwing the ball at somebody while, yeah.
Who was it? Who was the old Phillies pitcher that threw a no-hitter on LSD? Was it Doc Ellis? I know it was Doc Ellis. I didn't want to say it because I'm like, if I'm wrong, I'm going to sound like a fool. Doc Ellis threw a no-hitter on acid like 57 years ago.
Was Inagata DeVita playing in his head?
I don't think Inagata DeVita was out yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this was like 50 years ago.
Well, that would, yeah.
Let's see. Hurricane Jeff says, Rob, another feeling. I actually pitched against Jose Canseco before he made his ascent into the majors. First pitch, long home run. Next 3 at bats, all Ks. I don't think I played any big leaguers at the time. Texter said, intramurals in middle school back around 95, we were playing volleyball. The teacher was yelling at me, hit it, Mike. So I did it as hard as I could, and I hit her right in the face, knocking her to the ground and knocking her glasses off. The whole gym went crazy. Whew.
By the way, Inagata DeVita came out the year I was born, 1968.
Wow.
Which means
he might have been listening to Inagata DeVita.
He could have. Yes.
Let's see. Let's find out. I'll look up the date. Doc Ellis, LSD, no-hitter date.
Well, it had to be
June
in the 70s,
12th,
right?
1970.
Right. So he could have been listening to that.
Yep, could have been. In my head, he was now.
That was right at the end of the 60s, the beginning of the 70s. So there's still a continuation of all that stuff. So
Texas said I was a number 2 starter my junior year. First game gave up 8 earned in 2/3 of an inning. My ERA was 56.
Ouch.
Yeah. Took a little while to get that one back down. Texter said, I got third place in the punt, pass, and kick in elementary school. It was raining. I'm pretty sure there were only 3 or 4 entries. Fantastic.
We're getting more embarrassing than we are glory. I mean, come on.
Listen, some of my better memories were the glory days. Were the awful days, I guess I should say. All right, 844-326-3663, 844-FANOFONE. Lonzo, for whatever reason, my software over here is not showing me the names of who's on the line.
Okay, I'm sorry, your sophomore has a problem. I'll get engineering in here. I'll get engineering in here to fix the sophomore. You know what? I'd expect the same if I did that. And I would deserve it. Yes, Bobby is on the air.
Bobby, welcome to the show, big fella. Good to have you.
Hey, what's up, Rob?
Not much, buddy. How are you? What you got for me?
Doing good. About 6 years ago, I was playing adult social league rugby up in North Carolina, and basically we were going into practice for what was my second season. So I'm a stouter guy. I'm a forward, and I was running with the ball, and we had a guy that came in for a tackle, and he came in very, very low. Now, this is a seasoned guy that's been playing for several years, one of the better players on my own team. And when he came in for the tackle, I run high with my knees up, or my knee catches him in the eye, breaks his orbital socket, causes a concussion. He has to have surgery and basically ends his rugby career on what is, I'm still pretty much a rookie. Yeah. He looked at me later. He said, man, I don't blame you at all. It's not your fault. I actually came in hungover, and I shouldn't have ever tried to tackle you.
I think that's a mistake we all make in an adult sports. Most of us make in an adult sports league a couple of times.
All right, I have to ask a question. And so what's it feel and sound like when your knee crushes someone's orbital bone?
It makes a horrible clunk, and then it just feels like you just hit something and squished it. I mean, it's horrendous. And he just immediately just crumpled over, and I'm just like, oh, no.
Oh, no. Yeah. And I imagine that's hard to come back for. Probably more for him, but for you too. Bobby, appreciate it, man. Thanks for the story. Thanks for checking in. Looking for your glory story.
By the way, it's rugby. I'm sure dude just kept on playing. Those guys have a different kind of
crushed orbital bone.
No, I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about Bobby. I'm talking about, he kept going.
Texter said, fan, I took a baseball to the knee. I was an adventurer like you till I took a fastball to the knee. Coach said, take it for the team. Next inning, a bad bounce in left field, jam my finger. Then last inning, where'd that story go? Last inning, I slid into second base and twisted my ankle. I did last long playing baseball after that day. Yeah, I'd say that you made an orthopedic surgeon very happy with that day. Golly, man. Text said, glory moment, 10th grade basketball game against East rival Rowan. I was West Rowan for the regular season championship. Score tied, their ball, 9 seconds. I knock it over to my teammate and take off for the basket. Teammate dishes. I dribble down and lay it in as the buzzer went off. Fans on the court. It was amazing. I'll never forget it. That's from April. April, thanks for texting the show, man. That's amazing, April. Well done. See, those stories are ones that you absolutely brag about to your kids, right?
Yeah, I like those stories better. I guess I'm more on the positives. Yeah, I know. I just asked what it sounded like to crunch someone's orbital bone, but
She said their guard, a known boat talker, brings the ball past half court. Me and a teammate immediately double team her. She bobbles. I knock it and took it for a game winner.
Oh, there you go. That makes it even better.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, when you are a boat talker, as I used to have a little bit in me.
He's gone, by the way.
Boat is gone.
Yes.
When you are a boat talker, there is a part in the back of your brain that knows when I get got, I'm never going to hear the end of it. There was a dude, my junior year, the high school basketball team, the Choctawhatchee Big Green Indians, went to the state final. But before we got there, we had to play a regional final in our house. And there was a kid that came over from, I want to say it was Osceola High School. And his name, Lonzo, I don't think I can make it up if I tried. His name was Will Powers. Okay? So our sports editor at the time, guy by the name of DC Reeves for the local paper, wrote a preview and interviewed that kid. And the kid said in our local paper he had no question that they were going to come into Choctaw and win because, quote, when there's a will, there's a way. And I remember Mark Tiza, our head basketball coach, taking that, printing it out, blowing up. It was the first time I think I ever saw literal bulletin board material, right? Pinned it right there. The guy was mentioned a minute ago, Magic Hall. Phenomenal basketball player. Went about 6'7" and could dunk from the three-point line. He was unbelievable. Magic read that at a practice like 3 days before that game and proceeded to beat the holy hell out of everybody on the team. We're like, Magic's going to kill this guy. Magic's going to kill this guy. Magic, though, in a high school game, went for like 49, 12 rebounds, and 10 assists in that game. There was no way for Will. I didn't do anything in that game. I rode the pine the entire time. I was a phenomenal Gatorade guardian for that one. Magic could have won that game by himself. Where there's a will, there's a way. Great line from Will Powers. All right. Take a minute. Give us your high school glory story or horror story. Text it into 71307, 71307. Start your text with FAN. Start your text with FAN, and we'll read them on the air. Let's take a break. When we come back here, got a couple of things I want to get into. Pitch clock era well underway. Tomorrow will be the 1 week mark since opening day. So, has baseball benefited from the pitch clock, from the new rules, from the no shift? We'll address the opening day numbers when we come back on the Rob Brown Show in the Fan Upstate.
Brown Show, what do you want to talk about? Okay, what's your name? All right, hang on, Trey.
Trey.
Might be Trey from the stream. You never know. Look at what I just sent you on Twitter.
All right, heads up.
Great value for the defending champs, especially since they won 10-12. Colorado offers a lot of value if you don't want a chalk play. I'm Trista Crick. You make the book.
Okay, that's got to be staged, right?
I think it's.
That's got to be a work.
I think it's staged, but if it's not,
She got hit with a softly tossed Nerf bullet, and she acted like she got actually shot in the leg.
Look at the rifle that he's using. It might have some power to it.
You can see the dart. It's so slow. No, that's got to be a work. Be right back, guys. Don't go anywhere.
powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that. And that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need.
Yeah, I'm at the point where every time I see somebody smash a television after a game, I'm just convinced they're all fake now.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank members of USC. Terms and conditions apply.
What if you could do business without busy work? With Ramp, you can. Ramp is the future of finance with smart automation, corporate cards, and spend management. Just imagine, no more expense reports or shuffling wrinkled receipts. No more slogging through invoices or getting surprised by unexpected charges. Just your business's big idea with smart spend controls, automation that crushes busy work, and real-time insights so you can make it happen. In other words, Ramp completely reimagined finance to make it work for your business. Get set up, issue corporate cards, and start making payments in less than 15 minutes. See how Ramp does finance. Join today and get $250 just for signing up. Just go to ramp.com/offer. That's ramp.com/offer to get $250 for signing up. That's ramp.com/offer.
Feed your face with the best jumbo chicken wings around. Delicious sports bar food and ice cold beer and wings, etc. All military and first responders receive a 15% discount all day, every day. Wings, etc. 2644 Portland State Road. With food, great times, nearby.
Sponsored by Corley Plumbing, Air and Electric.
At Corley Plumbing, Air, and Electric, we provide transparent, upfront pricing you can depend on. Call Corley Plumbing, Air, and Electric today, or skip the line and book online at CorleyPro.com. That's CorleyPro.com.
Unique and unlike any other sports talk show, it's BetMGM Tonight, Monday through Friday from 7 to 11, only on The Fan.
Upstate.
BetMGM Tonight is the red zone for casual and hardcore sports fans. Live sports betting updates for all of the night's games as they happen. The latest scores, sides, totals, props, parlays, features, and much more with hosts Quentin Mayo, Trista Crick, and Ryan Horvath. Real-time, relevant sports wagertainment. BetMGM Tonight, exclusively on The Fan. And the Odyssey app. More than the sport, real sports.
The Rob Brown Show's on your radio. It is the Fan Upstate. Rob, Lonzo, you at 844-326-3663. Text us 71307. Start your text with Fan FAN. I believe Justin is up next on the line.
Not even close. Trey.
I knew it.
Justin.
What the hell did I
Trey.
get Justin?
I don't know.
Oh, because I was reading a Masters article during the break about Justin Thomas. That's why. Trey has been kind enough to hold through the break. He goes next on the show. Trey, what's up, big fella?
Hey, what's going on? This is Trey. Yeah, I just wanted to tell like a short story about the glory days of all the sports. It was church league softball. For me, it was the height of my career. But one time we were playing a co-ed team with a church league with our church league team, and there was this like pretty blonde, who was blessed. Let's just put it that way. She was blessed. And and the third baseman, I'm playing first base, and the third baseman, she hits at the third, and he just he just does his sidearm. I don't know. He just thought it was cool just to throw a sidearm, but it took me so far off the bag that I couldn't even get to catch it, and I'm losing track of my footsteps because I'm distracted by her coming off the bag, and I think he was distracted by her throwing the ball, and I lost my footing. I start stumbling, and before you know it, I'm falling face first into her bosom, basically.
Would you rather that or just face plant, Trey? Like face into the dirt or that?
Well, it's a co-ed cop team, so I'm just glad I didn't get arrested.
At a church league.
Never ever complain about a soft landing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've hit inside the home runs, inside the park home runs, and made some nice grabs at first, but that's the one play that I remember 20 years later.
I believe that. Trey, appreciate you, big dog. At a church league. At a church league. I mean, again, I think we all would prefer that to nose down in the dirt, but at a church league, woof. Trey, thanks for the call, buddy. Good to have you. Texter said, fan, if coach would have put me in the fourth quarter, we'd be state champs, no doubt. Signed to Uncle Rico. It's the Uncle Rico for texting the show. Love that. Yeah, I don't know, man. I've got a trip and fall story too. 7th grade, Meigs Middle School.
Okay, what's your name?
I will take to the grave that the floor was wet. I will take to the grave that the floor was wet. I slipped and ate it. I got up. I took 2 steps, and I slipped and ate it again. And our head coach in middle school, John Gaskin, who was about, 135 years old, stopped the game, brought me to the bench, and was like, nice trip, Goofy. To which I was then known for the culmination of my middle school career as Goofy. I was very glad that nickname died when I got to high school. But yes, John Gaskin, in the middle of a Meigs Middle School game, referred to me very loudly. And middle school gym. There was maybe 60 people in there. But very loudly said, nice trip, Goofy. And that stuck with me for a couple of years. Did not love that. I think we all got a trip and fall story.
Yeah. The problem with that, I think it's hard to not say something funny when that happens, but I think you need to think about the age of the kids that you're saying it about and what it's going to do to them in the hallways and the classrooms for the next year or so. And I'm sure it wasn't easy for you.
All I can say is I had to bear an unbearable nickname for a very long time, thanks to John Gaskin.
Yeah, my nickname was Looney. It never went away, but that's okay.
All right, we got another call, I think.
We do. We have Mike.
Mike, welcome to the show, big fella. Welcome in. What's happening?
How you doing, brother? Happy
Good.
Wednesday.
You too, big dog. Welcome. What you got?
So real quick, playing some Greenville Rex softball. Here I am up to bat. I swing. I slug the heck out of that ball. Knock it on right there. I take off running. I think the bat is stuck under my foot, so I'm kicking. I'm running, kicking. About a 300-pound dude running and kicking. Everybody screaming, just run, run. What are you doing? I get the base, make it the base. Get on first base, safe. And I go, I need a runner. They go, no, you don't. You're fine. I'm like, no, I blew my shoe out. The shoe was flopping. I thought it was the bat up under my foot the whole time. It was the cleat bit backwards, me running to first base. It was the funniest thing in the world.
As a fellow fat guy who has blown a tire before, fortunately, I was just playing golf.
Sturdy.
I know that can throw you off just a little bit. I am sure there were no jokes about that when you blew a tire in front of the boys.
I made it first, so they let go. They thought, man, that was awesome. Still made it first.
End of the day, get on base.
And it's Wednesday. You know what that means. Have a good one.
You got it, Mike. Thank you very much, big dog. Appreciate you. Still looking for your glory stories or your horror stories. Luke texted and said, Rob, is that how you lost your teeth? No, how I lost my teeth was way worse. I literally just passed out standing up. Way worse. I didn't even have, no, I knocked down 15 Jack and Coke. No, I didn't even have that excuse. I literally was at a bar. I had just got there. I stood up. I passed out, and I ate concrete face first.
Got to say, after that and the sliding incident, every time you lean back in your chair, I get worried. It's like, okay, what do I do if that happens? I'm not quite sure. I do know where the paddles are, though, if they're still there.
Fair enough.
I don't know how long it takes to charge them up.
For the record, I obviously didn't die, thankfully. Texas said, I was playing church league ball and for some reason decided to dive into first base, which was bad enough, except I learned the bag is not a soft landing spot and wound up fracturing the tip of my shoulder and had a black eye for a week. My church ball career is over. What is going on at y'all's church's ball leagues, man? I thought those were supposed to be friendly little gatherings.
Oh, no.
And we're getting mass unit stories out of them.
No. My one and only home run ever was in a church league softball game. But my daughter saw it and then she wanted to play softball afterwards. And,
That's how legacies are born.
Yeah, it just, it was way over the fence too. It's like, finally, after nearly 30 years, I hit one.
Church league ball is vicious, man. Vicious. I have played in some church league basketball leagues before. It can get the best part about church league basketball, Lonzo, is that the smack talk is the same, but nobody wants to cuss in the church gym. I'm going to beat the heck out of you. Don't bring that weak stuff into my house. Church league smack talk is elite because you've got to be creative with it, right? You can't dunk on a dude and be like, I'll bleeping posterize you, son. You got to be like, yeah, we're going to hang that in the fellowship hall, sucker.
Come on now. Sucker might be. Might be.
Oh, that's true. That might be over the line.
Yeah, it might be.
Might be over the line. Church leagues are vicious, man. Vicious. All right, let's do this. Keep the text coming. Jeff just said, I was a relief pitcher for our high school baseball team with 8 saves and 1 win. There's nothing like the feeling of rushing the field after winning the state semifinal the day before and winning the state championship the following day, both by 1 run. My junior league, or my junior year high school basketball team, lost the state final to Haines City, the Hornets, who had 4 D1 prospects on their roster. Like 4 of their guys won scholarship D1. We got smoked, and I'll never forget the end of that game. I think it's the only game in my career that coach walked over and with 45 seconds left, down 22, he's like, Brown, you want to check in? And I went, nope. He's like, you don't want to put your name on the stat sheet? Nope. Sure don't. Sure don't.
So you didn't have that dog in you back then.
We were down 22. I promise you, Rob Brown was not the difference maker. All right? I wasn't going to go in there and clear up a 22-point deficit.
Could have been your chance to shine, dude.
4 D1 college basketball players. All right, send your glory stories or your horror stories. We'll keep reading them on the air. Let's take a break, though. When we come back, I got to get to this baseball thing. We are 1 day shy of a full week into the Major League Baseball season. Pitch clock era, depends on how you look at it, is underway. Has it been a success for MLB so far? We'll take a look at some of the numbers and find out when we come back on the Rob Brown Show and the Fan Upstate. There is audio that I'm going to come to here. It is going to be clip 3. Machado still doesn't understand the rules.
Okay.
I'm Chuck Sanders with the Sports Flash on the Fan Upstate.
Steven, can't see you, bro.
But I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. and is designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
It's incredible. After using Babbel, I'm ready to start having real conversations in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Évidemment. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
This is a special notice to all U.S. taxpayers with back taxes to the IRS. Billions in tax relief is now being made available to struggling taxpayers, giving thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars in savings away to those who qualify. If you're facing wage garnishment, threatening letters, audits, liens, levies, or already in a payment plan, you can now expedite the resolution to your tax problem, end collections, and even qualify to reduce a large portion of what you owe. Stop IRS debt has established.
No, we can see you, Steven. I can see your comments, man. You're good. You're here. Let's see. Oh, there's your question. Just a question. But if you get dunked on and you try to stand your ground, but you also get junked on, what's the official term for that? Because I'm still recovering from it. Steven, you got posterized.
No. Junked on.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, junk in the grill on a dunk.
Okay, I was just making sure that you knew.
You still got posterized. You got put on a poster, and it happens, I think, to everybody. Everybody gets poster. I got posterized plenty of times. There is no coming back from it that day. You just that's your game. You could score 33, but if you get posterized, that's going on the highlight reel.
I gotta say, never been dunked on before. But here's the thing: didn't play a lot of basketball, but when I played neighborhood basketball, everybody was shorter than me, so it was not happening. Also, elbows and a shoulder, knees, those type of things will come in your way if you try to come in the lane. Because Lonzo, very good at fouling. That's it. I will never forget my uncle as I picked him up off the ground saying, "Son, is all you know how to do is foul?" Yes, sir.
It's called defense, coach.
Can't dribble.
Can't shoot.
I had one shot. It was off the glass to the left, but that I was pretty good at. But if you pass it to me, I'm passing it to someone else, or I'm taking a shot. I mean, that's just. I can't get rid of football mentality no matter what sport I'm in. Just can't.
Yes, Luke, I got your email. I looked at it. We will definitely consider that. I don't hate the idea. I like it. The problem is what I don't want to happen is we have like 6 people just submitting the same ones over and over. But I like the idea, and I'm submitting mine first.
Then everything went quiet as KFC decided to jam.
Tomorrow marks the 1-week anniversary of the beginning of this year's Major League Baseball season. And, of course, it is the beginning of the pitch clock era. We now have the 15-second pitch clock. Batter's got to be in the box, looking at the pitcher at 8, or else it's an automatic K if you've got 2 strikes, an automatic strike if you don't. It's been interesting, and I don't think bad. Look at Kristen deciding to jump her way up the power rankings by rolling in with a box full of donuts, big donuts from Scouts. Oh, I love it. That's a dope logo. Yes, I will, Kristen. Thank you very much. I don't have anything to sit it on, so I'll just hold it, and I'm good with that. Wait, do you have different in your – you have frosted donuts. Lonzo, Is it wrong to take 2 donuts? Can I take 2 donuts? I can.
I was going to say, I don't know what makes me the arbiter of donuts.
I don't know.
mean,
It's
you know,
it's an
just-
ethical dilemma. I know there's limited
I
donuts.
know
in
my
these
dilemma
boxes.
is I just ate lunch. Should I take one?
Yes. You don't have to eat it right this second. Kristen just rolled up with boxes of donuts from Scouts. Where are you guys at? East North Street. I'm going to go ahead and tell you I have not tried a donut yet. These look like damn delicious donuts. That's a thick donut, too. That's a solid 2.5-inch tall donut with frosting on top.
Well, yours is a lot taller since you
Well, I have
decided to
2 donut
double
sacks,
decker.
so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
now like 6 inches of donut. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Scouts Donuts, East North Street. Hit them up. Get a donut. This may shock you. I am squarely Team Donut. Big fan.
No,
Big fan.
no.
I know.
But I mean, you say Team Donut as opposed to what, Danish?
No, I know people who don't like donuts.
Why?
You'll notice I said I know them, not I am friends with them.
Okay, all right.
Thanks to Scouts for bringing some donuts by. Happy Donut Day,
Could
y'all.
have came by like 10 minutes ago before I ate lunch. That would have been. But I think it'll keep. So
Lonzo,
so
don't
we're
complain
good.
when you get free donuts. All right.
Rob's just eyeing my donut, thinking he's not going to eat that, so I'm getting that one too.
What'd you go with? You went with
I don't know.
like it looks like a chocolate.
It smells. I don't
They
know.
smell
Yeah,
heavenly.
yeah. That's the thing. I don't know.
Scouts Donuts, East North Street. Thanks to them for coming by with some donuts on Donut Day. All right.
Actually, I think that's might be some cinnamon apple over there.
Don't hate that. Don't hate that at all. All right. Yesterday, Padres get started in a game. Manny Machado at the dish. We're bottom 1. Manny Machado has a full count against him. Manny Machado, who, by the way, multiple times in spring training had pitch clock violations for not being alert to the pitcher with 8 seconds. With about 12 seconds left, Manny Machado is in the box, but Machado then does the old baseball thing where he starts adjusting the gloves. He takes the bat. He's knocking dirt off the cleats. He's not looking at the pitcher. The clock hits 8 seconds, and Manny Machado goes to signal timeout to the umpire to finish getting set in the box. And the umpire looks at him, strike 3. He's out, inning over. But that's not where it ended. Here is the audio from that call yesterday. Machado rung up, argued the pitch clock violation, spent about 7-8 seconds in the face of the umpire, rung up, tossed. Bye. Have a lovely rest of your day, Manny Machado. I might have some sympathy for a guy, except for you spent 5 weeks in spring training with these rules. You violated the same rule about 4 times in spring training. It's not like you weren't aware of the rule. There's a giant pitch clock in every wall of the stadium, so there's no excuse of, I didn't see it. And you were in the box doing exactly the thing that you weren't supposed to be doing, adjusting batting gloves, getting the dirt out of the spikes, making sure that all your equipment was shifted into the right position, pants-wise and others. And you got rung up, dude. It happens. It happens. Sucks that it was on strike 3 on a full count in the bottom of the inning with runners on. But the rules don't change because there's guys on base and not. And on top of that, I've been watching baseball a very long time. I'm 38 years old. I have been watching baseball for roughly 37 years. You know, the one thing I've never seen, I've seen some weird stuff happen in baseball. You know what I've never seen happen? I've never seen an umpire get argued with and change his call, right? I've never seen an umpire go, yeah, you know what? You're right, manager. Great argument. I'm overturning the call. Machado knew you need to be looking at 8 seconds. He wasn't. He was very clearly not. I watched the replay, and he got rung up before he called timeout. It is what it is. And there were a lot of Padres fans who were quite upset about it. It sucks that it happened with runners on in a 2-out, 2-strike situation, but them's the breaks, man. Them's the rules. So we've got that. We've got the new pitch out rule. We've got the new pickoff rule, right? During any at bat, you can make 3 pickoff attempts at a batter on base, right? That was one of the big questions I had was, couldn't the pitcher just throw over to first and reset the shot clock over and over? And the answer is no. If you make 3 pickoff attempts to a man on base, if you do not successfully pick him off on the 3rd attempt, he is awarded the next base. So if you throw over there twice and you don't get him, likely that guy's going to take a bigger lead, because if you throw over again and don't get him, he gets a free base, right? So I'm going to tempt you into trying it. And if you don't try it, I got a larger lead to get to second or get to third. Blah, 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 blah. What impact have the rules had? Now, I'm going to start with this. I think it's going to take a very long time for us to truly get a gauge on what impact these new rules have on the game. Lonzo, if I asked you to guess, how many on average pitch clock violations are happening over 9-inning baseball games so far this season, what would your number be?
You said on average.
On average per game.
Per game.
Sure.
I'm going to go 1.
You're very close. 0.86. So just shy of a single pitch clock violation per game. And the overwhelming majority of them are not happening in 2-out, runners on, 2-strike situations. They're happening the first batter getting into the rhythm, the pitcher, whatever, in the 3rd. Like, they're not happening in clutch situations. And there's less than 1 a game, which, by the way, is significantly less than there were in spring baseball. But what's it doing for the fans? The whole premise of these new rules was what? Make the game more enjoyable for fans. Games are right now 29 minutes shorter per game than they were last year. But it's not about the 30 minutes of time. It's about that predominantly those 30 minutes of time were 30 minutes where nothing was happening. It's 15 seconds of Pete Alonso walking from second back to first on a foul ball. It's 15 to 20 seconds here of Manny Machado adjusting his batting gloves after every pitch. It's 15 to 20 seconds of the pitcher and the catcher shaking their heads. No. Yes. It's 15 to 20 seconds here of a pitcher getting set, checking first, looking home, checking first, looking home, checking first, looking home, checking first, looking home, then throwing. That's where those 30 minutes have gone. So it's not that the games are shorter. Some of them aren't. Like I mentioned, opening day for the Braves, 3 hours and 9 minutes. That's longer than the average time of game last year. But it didn't feel like 3 hours and 9 minutes because there wasn't any dead time. The only dead time there was because the Braves, after Max Fried got injured, basically had to go to a bullpen game and had to change out pitchers every 3-4 batters. And you had to wait for the guy to come out, warm up, get ready, get set, throw the inning. Here's what we know so far. According to Sports Pro, MLB's opening day saw 172 million watched minutes of baseball on the league's MLB.TV streaming platform. The previous record came on opening day in 2021 when 121 million minutes of baseball were watched on the MLB.TV streaming platform. Now, Looking at the MLB.TV streaming platform, that's a paid streaming service. Either you have T-Mobile and you got it for free, or you paid for MLB TV, which means that the majority of fans that are watching on MLB TV are what? Baseball fans, right? They are fans who are willing to spend expendable income to stream their favorite Major League Baseball team. So these folks were already in. But will they watch more? Well, think about it. The games are 30 minutes shorter. That means if you've got 1 million people watching and the game is 30 minutes shorter, that is 30, what is that, 3 million minutes fewer baseball available to be watched if you got that many people watching at any given time. For every viewer on the stream, there is 30 fewer minutes of watch time per baseball game, which means that for every viewer, there is 30 minutes fewer times 15 games on opening day. What's 30 times 15? I'm very bad at math. Somebody do the math for me. 30 times 15 is a lot. Where's my calculator? 450. 450 fewer minutes of baseball, if you watched every game, available per viewer. Yet, this opening week, amongst already locked-in baseball fans, increased by 42% of minutes consumed. So there were 450 fewer minutes available of baseball this year, yet baseball fans, those that are already paying money to subscribe to MLB.TV, baseball fans watched 40+% more baseball than they watched on any other opening day in history. Now, will those numbers continue to rise? I don't know. Some of them were very good. Fox Sports season opening doubleheader on Saturday saw an average of 2.2 million viewers. That is up 10% from last year. ESPN reported that their opening weekend had an 11% increase of viewership from last year. ESPN's Sunday Night Baseball was also accompanied by the K-Rod broadcast, which was effectively baseball's effort at a Manning cast with Michael Kay and Alex Rodriguez, had a 5% gain from their first broadcast last year. The takeaway here is we are 5 days into the, we're 6 days now into the season. 6 days into the season, and so far, more baseball is being watched than ever before. It's at a record pace right now. Now, will that stay up for a 162-game season? I don't know. And there's no way to know. We won't know until 162 games from now. It is also not accurate to say that this is because of the pitch clock, because of the rule changes. There's no way to know that either. It might just be that America has more free time now. Who knows? But so far, we're 6 days into the pitch clock era, and baseball's numbers are dramatically up right now. Dramatically up. It's a good thing for baseball when you kill the dead time and keep people locked in on the game. Not walking away because Machado's taken 35 seconds to clean his spikes between every pitch. Hour number 3 is around the corner on the Rob Brown Show and the Fan Upstate. You know what this is?
No,
This is
I haven't
not a
tried
donut,
mine.
Lonzo.
It's not?
It's a sweet roll.
Oh, did someone steal your sweet
Look at the
roll?
layers inside.
It is.
That's
You're
not
right.
a donut, y'all. That's a pastry, is what that is. That's a pastry.
Are you complaining?
It's phenomenal. I'm saying it's one thing to bite into a donut, which I'm a big fan of, obviously. This is a pastry. Look at the layering in that, man. That's a pastry, my dude. I have to go to the restroom, but I don't want to stop eating the pastry.
Have a take. The Jim Rome Show. Weekday afternoons on CBS Sports Radio.
Glowing reviews.
I mean, I took a second bite. I'm more concerned with all the sugar and how it might end up on a mouse and how someone might complain about it. So you didn't try the one that had topping on it?
Not yet. I mean, this one did. It had icing on top.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Mhm.
What kind of icing was it?
I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like a tart icing.
I don't know what tart tastes like. I mean, I guess it's tart is tart.
Mhm.
I guess I do know what tart tastes like.
Yes, I am eating on the stream. 100%. And it's very much worth it. Take it and then leave it on the urinal. No. I'm not wasting a perfectly good donut. Do I want to eat the other one right now?
I don't know. Do you?
I do. Who we want? Look how thick this donut is, man. Oh, that's a light Lonzo. It's filled with more chocolate on the inside.
Good for you.
I'm
already suffering after a couple bites. So
this is 2 chocolate donuts stacked on top of each other. Bum, 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 bum.
Rob's just going to bounce off the ceiling by the
Yep.
I mean, with the monsters and chocolate donuts.
All the sugar and caffeine today, y'all.
QC in the first break.
10-4. Oh man, that's a good donut, you guys.
I think they know. They just watched you eat 2 of them.
Yep.
Don't think less of me because I haven't finished one. That's just a lot of sugar for me.
Yeah, I think you should think less of me because I finished 2.
I'll probably finish it before the day's out.
I'm expecting the text from Rhonda Brown any moment now going, it's rude to eat in front of people. Well done.
Which is why I try to step off screen always when I do it, because I
don't bring me delicious chocolate filled and chocolate topped donuts.
Well, in this case, you're kind of doing it for work. So I mean, there's that.
Yeah, let's go with that. So, I don't know how to get it. I'm just coated in chocolate.
Look in the camera and lick your lips.
tell you how my life works. Lonzo, I got up this morning.
Which is always a good start.
It's a great start.
Yeah.
I got up this morning and I started getting ready for work. And I threw on the hockey jersey. Now, Rob owns, I think, 5 hockey jerseys now for 2 reasons. Number one, they're awesome. I look good in a hockey jersey. And hockey jerseys are great utilitarian clothing. But the second reason is the reason that you used to see, what's his name, Kevin James? Not Kevin James. Kevin Smith.
Yeah, Kevin Smith. You still see him in them, yes. They just don't look the same since you lost all that weight.
Correct. He wore them for the reason I wore them, which is, let's just call it what it is. I'll hurt my own ego on the air. It's a dude moo-moo, right? It's a dude moo-moo. I'm fat. I know it. So I'm going to cover it up with a hockey jersey so that it's like, I'm not fat. I just am super sports guy, right? The lady friend this morning is like, another hockey jersey. I was like, yeah, babe, I'm the sports guy. I got a brand. She goes, you don't have a brand.
But you do. It's right there on the wall. I see it.
I agree.
That was great. That was graceful, by the way.
She says, I don't care that you wear the hockey jersey. She's like, but you wear them every day, right? Like, can't you occasionally throw on like a collared shirt?
Didn't you do that like Monday
2 days
or
ago?
something?
Yeah.
Something like that.
But it's fair. She's right, because I wear them all the time. Oh, perfect. Those are delicious. It's good chocolate. I wear them a lot. So she's like, now, this is where the fight started. She goes, well, yeah, but like, Cody's on the stream with you all the time, and he dresses nice. I'm like, Cody is a professional athlete who is yoked.
I noticed she didn't throw me out there.
Right.
Yeah, because that was a smart move. She went.
Right.
Yeah.
She's like, why don't you dress more like Cody? He dresses nice on the stream. I'm like, well, I'll tell you what. I lose 40 pounds. I'll do it. And she goes, well, then lose 40 pounds. Quit talking about it and doing it. And I'm not going to lie to you, Zoe. It peeved me a little bit. I was like, you know what? You know what? And I went to that. I'm like Randy Orton. I went to that place, right? Where I'm like, that's it. I'm eating nothing but unseasoned chicken breasts for the next month. I'm going to drop 40. I'm going to show you, sucker. I'm going to show you. And then as I build up all this commitment all morning long, like, I got to do it. I'm going to drop back down. I got to get back to down like that 225 number, my playing weight, 225. I can get there. It's like 25, 30 pounds. I can do that. Hell, I've done it twice since I got here. I can do that. And then I get to work. I switch to the 0 sugar, 0 calorie energy drink, right? I didn't eat anything this morning. I didn't eat anything bad this morning. I stopped and got myself a low-calorie protein bar for breakfast. I'm like, I'm in the zone. I'm going to be good. And then what happens the day that I finally hit that momentum to prove the fiance wrong? Kristen rolls up in the studio with 2 boxes of not like the donut you're thinking of. These are like whole damn pastries.
See,
one of them.
This is my fault. I allowed them in the room. You really shouldn't be coming in the room when the on-air light's on. I
should if you have donuts.
But I could have helped you out by saying, no. You need to go out. The light's on. So the problem that you're having right now, it's my fault, and I apologize. I'm sorry.
The problem, though, is that I could have taken one of the donuts and been like, this is delightful. Thank you. And then I went, that one's got chocolate on it. And I took that one too. And then I bit in to the chocolate donut during the break, only to find out that the donut with the chocolate frosting on the top was also filled with more chocolate frosting.
It was
and
like,
did I look at that donut and go, remember, Rob, 225. Remember, Rob, you want to get back in shape. Remember, Rob, you're about to jump on the stream in 2 weeks with Cody Decker. You got to not look like a fatso when you do. Did I look at myself right here in the stream? I can see myself in the computer.
Yeah, you could.
Did I look at myself in the stream and go, wow, you fat tub of lard, maybe don't eat both donuts? No. What did I do? Nom, 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 nom.
All I gotta say
and crushed both donuts.
is I felt like I was at Wonkus and one of the kids had just walked into the room where everything is edible.
Augustus bleeping gloop.
I didn't want to go there. I didn't want you went there. I wasn't going to go there. I was going to give you a Mike TV or something, you know. I mean, maybe a Charlie.
Texas said, Rob, how's the diet going? Shut up. That's how it's going. It's going shut up. Just fine, thanks.
But they're wonderful donuts. You
The
can
donuts
tell.
are incredible.
You can tell because and they're this one donut's the size of two donuts. So technically,
Rob ate 4 donuts.
Rob
Thank
ate-
you for making it worse.
Rob ate 4 donuts.
Thank you for making. Oh, you know, I was gonna walk out of here going, you know what? It's fine. You had 2 donuts. You had 2 donuts. That's fine. Just like go for a jog later. I've been jogging again. Go for a jog
Hey,
later.
just do some laps around the square out there.
Yeah.
Just wave to the boss as you go by. Just do a few laps. You'll be all right.
Go for a jog. Eat a healthy dinner. It's not the end of the world. And then Lonzo's like, no, fatto. You didn't eat 2 donuts. You ate 4 donuts. And 2 of them were both chocolate covered, chocolate frosted.
You know, everyone needs an accountability buddy. Accountability, but I can't say the word, but you know what I mean? A friend who's willing to keep you accountable for what you're trying to do. I wasn't aware that you were had started something, or I would have helped you out there and said, no, Rob can't take any donuts.
How do
He's
you
trying to lose
people
weight.
with discipline do it? How do you do it? I don't understand it. I don't get it. All morning long, I'm like, get down to 225, son. You were at 225 a year and a half ago. Get back to 225. Get back to your playing weight. Let's get back on the court. Let's go ahead and cross some folks up. Like, let's get back in the zone. You're almost 40. Start taking care of yourself. And the minute somebody put a donut in front of me, I was.
I just took the donut because she brought the sponsor in with. I mean, I'm guessing, you know. So you don't want to do that and be like, no, I don't, you know.
No, what I should have done is said yes. I should have said thank you. I should have thrown the donut away and then come back on the air and been like, it was so delicious, you guys. But I'm not a liar.
No, you can't do that. What you could do is just take it and set it aside and eat it later.
No, I felt like I needed to talk about the donuts that a sponsor just brought in for us. They're delightful. I needed to eat it to experience it. What I didn't need to do was eat 2 double-stacked donuts covered and dripping with chocolate frosting, both inside and out.
By the way, the name of the donut shop is Scout's Donuts in the kitchen. And it's at 1700 East North Street.
I will say this.
And they also have lemon cream, honey lavender, hot guava, pure vanilla, dark chocolate flake salt, and cinnamon sugar, which is what I got.
Love all
Cinnamon
that. Love all that. I just had 2. They were delightful. I want you to know.
If you're into donuts, check them out.
Let me tell you how much worse it was. Let me tell you how much worse it is, my lack of willpower and ability to turn down a donut. About 45 minutes ago, Kristen sent out a company-wide email. It said, there are Scouts Donuts down in the kitchen for Donut Day if anybody would like one. And you know what I did, Lonzo? I deleted that email. I was like, you know what? I'm good.
I didn't, which is why I was able to tell you about the
Yeah.
sponsor. So
I deleted that email. I'm like, don't even look at it.
I don't
'Cause
believe in deleting emails. They say this email can't crash. Well, I'm about to find out.
I deleted that email. I was like, no, fatso, you are not about to take a break off to walk downstairs to get a donut, knowing full well if you take 1 donut, you're going to take 2, to then bring them upstairs and eat on the air. No, fatso. And I knew if I deleted the email that when I got to the end of the show, I would forget they were down there. I would do my work. I would get in the car halfway home. I'd be like, I missed out on donut. You know what? That's okay. I'm trying to lose weight. But the minute Kristen rolled up in here with 2 boxes of donuts, all of that willpower that I had to channel to delete that email, David Copperfield had gone. And as Lonzo pointed out, I turned into Augustus Gloop. No. Yeah, 1 donut's good. How about 2 donuts?
Augustus, sweetheart, save room for later.
Golly. Anyway, if you want to know how Rob's therapy sessions go, this is it. I said no to the email. I said no. I said no. I'm like 25% proud of myself because I could have absolutely walked downstairs and gotten donuts, but I didn't. I was like, you know what? No, it's not worth the walk. It's not worth the walk.
Not only
It's
could
not
you
worth
have,
the walk.
it would have been more than a walk. It would have been a brisk walk.
Yeah.
And then you could have justified to yourself that you burn off calories
earned this donut.
going downstairs and coming back up the stairs. That would negate the amount of sugar you were about to take in. That would have been better than them just rolling them up
Yeah.
here to you.
I said no. I said no. I was like, yeah, I'm sure those donuts are delightful, but I'm good. I'm good. I got a fiance to give the smoke to. All right. She said, don't talk about it, be about it. I was like, damn, you're right. You're right. You're right. I need to quit talking about it, and I need to live that life. So I deleted the donut email. And as soon as there was a donut in my stupid fat face, I didn't eat one. I ate two. I didn't eat two. I ate four. So now I got to go home and jog. I will. By the way, this afternoon is the introduction of the Greenville Drive to season ticket holders. They've asked me to MC that, right? So I'm going down the floor today. I'm going to MC. I'm going to introduce the team to the season ticket holders this year. I'm like, where's it happen? They're like down on the field, third base dugout on the field. So I know I'm going to probably get 2,500 steps in at that event.
Well, and keep in mind, it's supposed to be up to like 85 today. So you're going to lose
sweat
some.
a little bit.
Yeah, you are.
But
maybe a lot.
Here's what I got to spend the next 6 hours of my life mentally preparing for. Along with that, you know what else they're doing? It's the getting to know you dinner. They're just going to be rolling out absolute stocks of barbecue and mashed taters and whatnot. And now I got to stare at that and go, you had 4 donuts, you fat loser.
Like a cup of mashed potatoes is only like 150 calories. So you're good there. As long as you don't smother it in butter. I mean,
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Don't talk about it, be about it. Donuts. Straight up Homer Simpson myself into just a slight bit more self-loathing and hatred. It's all good. They were delightful donuts, for the record. I'll put it this way. Lonzo, if I am going to sabotage not talking about it but being about it, that's a pretty good reason to do it. It would have been worse if those donuts sucked. You know what I mean? It'd been worse if they were bad donuts. And like I said, I will not lie. I will not lie to you ever about food. Not on the air, Rob. Just in general, I will never lie to you about food. If food's not good, I just straight up won't talk to you about it.
You were thinking
those were damn good donuts.
You were thinking about the brand. You didn't want to pass up a potential sponsor to the show, and they have a perfect thing right now. These donuts are so good, you can't say no.
Yeah.
I mean, which you just proved that you can't. So
if you like me, lack willpower in the weight loss direction, walk in with a plan. 1 donut. That's what I should have done. I should have said 1 and stuck to a plan. But
it's not
they
just
were surprise donuts.
It's not just about that.
It was a trap.
Let's say you've had a really good week and you want to treat yourself to a pastry or a donut of some type. Then you need to check this place out.
I also have not had a really good week. All right, we gotta move on past donuts and self-loathing. Coming up next,
both of which could be sports, donuts and self-loathing.
Correct. Coming up next on the radio broadcast, as the Rob Brown Show rolls on here on the Fan Upstate. We've taught Masters a little bit. Tomorrow, just after 10 p.m., Eldrick Tiger Woods, y'all. Tees off. But he said something interesting about this Masters. If it wasn't already compelling enough, it certainly is now. Will this be the last time we see golf's biggest name on golf's biggest course? We'll listen to what Tiger had to say when we come back on the Rob Brown Show and the Fan Upstate.
QC.
Got a live for you guys. Stay right there. We'll be right back. is the Super Bowl of golf. And playing in it one more time again is Eldrick Tiger Woods. Now, Tiger is not only getting on up there in age, he is 47, and in athlete's years, that's 100. But obviously, Tiger's also had some physical issues, what with the car accident, et cetera, et cetera. So we are, whether we like it or not, and we as an I don't, watching the end of the career of the greatest of all time. And there's some arguments that he's not. I think he is. That's another discussion. And I am not the only one who recognizes that. Here's what Tiger Woods said yesterday in his press conference before he played a practice round. Tiger sounds like Tiger knows that Tiger is making his last stand at Augusta.
All right. So what I don't understand about this, so does he mean competitively or does he mean completely? Because the old timers still get to play there. If you're once a champion, you get invited back, right?
Correct. If you earn a green jacket, you have an indefinite invitation to play at the Masters. However, I don't know Tiger personally, but Tiger strikes me as the guy that says, if I don't have a chance to win it, I'm not going to eat up a spot, right? Because there's limited spots in the field. And if I eat up a spot because I have a green jacket, it means that some young cat that might catch his break at the tournament can't. I'm not going to play it if I don't have a genuine threat to win it.
Yeah, but doesn't that kind of take away from the mystique that is the Masters, knowing that some of those old guys actually come back and play, right? I mean,
no, because
they don't have a problem with taking a spot, or do they have a separate spot?
No, now the way that Augusta's exemption list works is weird, but it basically comes down to none of those the Freddie Couples of the world.
I'm not trying to fight on this.
No,
I'm
I
trying.
get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
I'm trying to understand. That's all.
But considering the issues he's having with his body after the car accident, I think Tiger knows that every year he tacks on now is that much further away from being uber competitive, right? That being said, Tiger's still competitive. Clip 2A, if you don't mind. In the same presser, Tiger got asked, do you feel like you're a competitor at Augusta this year? And he said this. Yeah, kind of did. Kind of did. Tiger still considers himself a threat, right? Still a threat to put on one more green jacket, to lift that cup one more time. A lot of you guys don't like Tiger for his personal life issues. And I get it, right? The issues with addiction, which, by the way, addiction is not an excuse to drive under the influence. All right? It's not. It never has been. It never will be. But a lot of the issues Tiger has had, self-inflicted as they are caused by that. If you are capable of separating the artist from the art, Tiger Woods is, and I do not say this lightly, the most important golfer of all time. The most important. He's also the best, but he's the most important golfer of all time. You're going to get some old hats who I respect, who are going to say, no, Rob, that's Arnold Palmer or Jack Nicklaus, Greg Norman. Those guys created massive fan followings within the world of golf, right? Tiger opened the world of golf up to a entirely new generation of people and entirely new demographics of people. Tiger's been playing since he was 19 years old. Tiger's been dominating since he was in his early 20s. Rob Brown was not in high school when Tiger started lifting trophies. And I can tell you, as somebody who has played golf, not well, but played golf since high school, I have seen the evolution of the game spurred on by Tiger. I've told you guys this story before about how when I was in college in Pensacola, when I got my first radio gig, I used to hit the range. And when I'd go hit the range and Tiger was dominant and Tiger's video game was taking over the video game market, I had people who had never been around golf playing the Tiger Woods video game with me when it first dropped. You would go to the range and you would see young people, black golfers, Asian golfers, in numbers you had never seen them around that sport before because of Tiger. Look, I don't think Tiger's going to be competitive in Augusta this weekend. He might make the Friday cut. Maybe he makes it to Sunday. Maybe. He's out on Championship Sunday. I don't know. But I'll tell you this. I have said in the past that I've been very, very frustrated with golf for doing a very poor job at promoting their next generation of stars, right? Tiger at 45 and 46 after the car accident, whenever he tees off, is the guy they're throwing the camera on. Not Rory, not Brooks, not DeChambeau when he was playing better, not Jon Rahm, who is maybe the best golfer on the planet right now. They usually keep the camera on Tiger. Why? Because he's a needle mover, right? Even if you're not a golf fan, if you tune into golf, you're tuning in to see what Tiger's doing. I will not have a problem with that this year at Augusta. I will not have a problem with Tiger being the sole center of attention at Augusta. Because I feel like this is the last ride of Eldrick. I might be reading into things too much, but it does feel a little bit like Tiger believes this is the last ride of Eldrick. This is a legend of the game walking away from the game. If he is done. Again, I'm speculating here a little bit based on what Tiger had to say. But I'll tell you what. I would rather have the camera pointed at Eldrick for his final 3, maybe 4 rounds at Augusta, and then him announce that he's back next year. Okay, we spent a lot of time on Tiger at the 2023 Masters. He is going to play in 24. I would rather that be the case than not spend my time watching Tiger's last ride at Augusta this year, only to find out that he's out next year. He's done. He's hanging him up, right? He's just going to move into the box or whatever he decides to do next. Tiger Woods is as important to golf as Michael Jordan was to basketball, right? There were stars before Michael. Oscar, the Doctor, Magic, etc. There were always stars in the NBA. But when Michael Jordan became his heiress in Chicago, an entirely new generation of and demographic of fan came to basketball. Michael is as important to golf. Tiger is as important to golf as Michael Phelps was to swimming. A sport that was very rarely on the periphery of American attention for 8 years became something we were all captivated by because of Michael Phelps. Tiger Woods is as important to golf as Ken Griffey Jr. was to baseball. The guy who made baseball a cool sport. Not the sport you played because your dad played and your grandpa played. Not the sport you played because that's what mom and dad signed you up to play with Little League sports. We play baseball because Ken Griffey Jr. made baseball dope, dude. The backwards hat, that sweet swing. Tiger is as important to golf as those guys were to their sports. Maybe more so. And when Tiger is gone from the game, golf is going to be forced to adapt. They're going to have to learn a lesson that I think Major League Baseball has been and is learning right now. You would better learn how to promote the next generation of stars while you still celebrate the current generation of stars. Why do you think Julio out in Seattle for the Mariners is being celebrated the way he is? He's a very, very good outfielder. They're not celebrating him because he's good as an outfielder. They're celebrating him because he is the next generation of star. There's 20 more years of baseball in that guy. Golf is going to have to learn that. And they will have to learn it the hard way since they haven't done it in the twilight of Tiger's career. But as a fan, as somebody that loved Tiger as a kid, that thoroughly enjoys Tiger as an adult, that thinks that red shirt Tiger in his prime was maybe the most dominant athlete at their sport ever, to see Tiger basically say, hey, look, I'm not saying it's the end for me, but I recognize every time I walk out there that it very well might be. I will be paying all the attention to Tiger Woods this weekend. When the Masters app is on, if they do a Tiger group cam, that'll be the one that gets the big screen. When I'm sitting at home Sunday afternoon, recovering from a long weekend, and I put it on CBS, it used to be 4, 5, 6 years ago, when they'd flip the Tiger, I'd be like, stop. He's 8 strokes off the pace. Show me the guys who aren't. Show me the guys in contention. This time, Tiger might be 50 strokes off. And I still want every swing. Because if Tiger has one more iconic moment in him, if he has one more, in my life, have you ever seen anything like that? Out of Nance or whoever else, I want to be there for it. I want to be there for it. I'm not saying golf will never have another Tiger Woods. I'm saying golf has only had one Tiger Woods so far. And if this is his last ride at the greatest golf tournament on planet Earth, I want to watch every swing of the golf club just in case. Just in case. The dude is the dude. Don't miss the opportunity to watch him play. Listen, I will lose my mind Sunday if Tiger Woods wins the Masters. I ain't betting on it, but I would. Doesn't matter if he does or doesn't. Give me one more chip in on 12. Give me one more incredible round at Amen Corner. Give me one more massive pop drive at 1 that gets the gallery losing its mind. And I'll be happy to say adios to the most important guy to ever swing the sticks. Let's take a break. We'll come back here in just a minute from right now. Got a couple of NFL stories to run you through, and then Twitter trending topics wraps it all up. My name is Rob Brown. The great one Lonzo's on the board, and you're listening, ladies and gentlemen, to The Rob Brown Show. You're listening to the Fan Upstate.
Carolina has 109 points, 3 better than second place New Jersey atop the Boston division. The Braves beat the Cardinals 4-1 in St. Louis on Tuesday. Dylan Dodd won his major league debut. He gave up a run in 6 hits over 5 innings, striking out 3, no walks. Austin Riley with a 2-run homer off Steven Matz in the first. Jesse Chavez, Joe Jimenez, Finland Lee, and Kirby Yates combined for 3 scoreless innings before
before A.J. Minter worked a perfect ninth for his first save of the season. The series continues today, 1:15 Eastern first pitch. Ready Bryce Elder starts for 4-1 Atlanta. The Fan Upstate is your home for Furman Paladin sports all year long. Download the Odyssey app, search the Fan Upstate, and listen anywhere on your phone. I'm Chuck Sanders. On the Fan Upstate.
UFC Fight Night, Rosenstruck versus Almeida is in Charlotte. That might get a drive. Fight nights are on Saturdays, aren't they?
Unfortunately, yes. Might get a drive from you. I mean, you know.
Oh, that's fair. You wouldn't take a night off for that?
I can't.
Let's show contributor camera host.
Met with the Cowboys Tuesday. Dallas also hosted Clemson linebacker Trenton Simpson. And the Raiders signed Jimmy Garoppolo this offseason. They added Brian Hoyer Tuesday, but on Friday they'll be hosting former Florida quarterback Anthony Richardson. Josh McDaniels also reuniting with Danny Amendola, adding the former wideout to their staff to coach returners. This has been NFL Network Now on the West Coast.
Breaking news.
Tax refund shock is everywhere, but what is it?
My tax refund shrank.
Mine too. The culprit, pandemic-related stimulus payments and tax credits expiring. In this reporter's opinion, you need a tax expert.
Hey guys, Jackson Hewitt guarantees your biggest refund.
And tax prep is 50% off.
All right, something I can't normally say in here. I'm cold.
Delicious with their semi-annual sale. Grab all your favorites at 50% off, like tender steaks, ocean fresh seafood, air-chilled chicken, and more. Use code HOT at omahasteaks.com and check out for an additional $30 off your order. Get fired up and spring into something special. But hurry, 50% off site-wide is only for a limited time. Visit omahasteaks.com. Use code HOT at checkout for an additional $30 off during their semi-annual sale today. And the order may be required.
If you own a small business, you know the value of time. GetRefunds.com does too. That's why they've made it easy, no matter how busy you are, to apply for the Employee Retention Credit, or ERC. Go to GetRefunds.com to get started, and in less than 8 minutes,
Yeah.
your business
I knew as soon as I started reading, watched a new movie on Netflix, where you were going, Steven. That would be a no for me. It's a no for Rob, too. He'll say it's a go for him, but we know how many movies he actually watches. So
rude.
Reality often is.
Reality is whatever I want it to be.
You were being goaded into eating another donut, by the way.
No.
By your buddy.
Lord lover.
Yes,
girl, I do want another donut.
Ain't no food out there that ain't made better by cooking it in lard. Everybody love lard.
Do it today and get 20% off your entire first order. That's ro.co/Viagra.
I used to get frequent heartburn at night, so I made Prilosec OTC part of my morning routine.
One pill in the morning, 24 hours, zero heartburn with Prilosec OTC. It's possible while taking Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
This afternoon, very warm with times of clouds and sun, high of 85.
Weather brought to you by Express Employment Professionals. Don't stress about finding a new job. Let Express Employment Professionals help. Visit expresspros.com for good local jobs in a variety of industries.
From the Ingles Market Studio, the Fan.
Upstate. 97.7 FM Greenville. 97.1 FM Spartanburg.
Always live from the Free Odyssey app. CBS.
The Rob Brown Show continues. It is the Fan Upstate. Rob, Lonzo, you. Be a part of the show, 844-FANFONE. That's 844-326-3663. That'll get you on the Gilstrap Family Dealership. So text us 71307, 71307. Start your text with FAN, F-A-N, and we'll read them on the air. Let's get to a couple more stories, and I'll start with this one. Lamar Jackson's situation has been relatively quiet the last few days, all things considered. Yeah, relatively quiet. We're trying to see who's in, who's out. We know right now that Carolina's out, or at least they've said publicly that they are. They got the number 1 overall pick. Atlanta has said repeatedly that they are out. There is one team that's been mentioned a couple of times so far that has not specifically said that they are out. But there has been a lot of discussion about it. And that team, of course, is the New England Patriots. Meek Mill, according to Bob Kraft, told him that Lamar wants to be a Patriot. There has been no comment from Lamar about that since then. There have been a couple of former Patriots players who have told Lamar, do not go there, Bill will waste you. There have been a couple of former Patriots elsewhere saying, no, he won't get there. Now, Belichick's in kind of an interesting spot. Belichick is widely considered to be one of, if not the greatest NFL coaches of all time. However, since one Tom Brady left New England, Tom Brady has since won a Super Bowl. The Patriots, on the other hand, have done nothing. Mac Jones is, as of today, the starter for the New England Patriots. But according to a report from Mike Florio, that may not be the case for terribly much longer. Why? Florio is reported right now, Lonzo, to be shopping actively Mac Jones to other teams for a trade. Belichick is apparently making the rounds and did so at the owners and coaches meetings last week about getting Mac sent out of Foxborough to make room for another starting QB. Florio said it is currently unclear which teams exactly Belichick has contacted about trading Mac Jones, but he did list the Raiders, Texans, Bucks, and Commanders as potential destination, noting that Josh McDaniels' Raiders team is a team to, quote, keep watching, end quote. Florio also wrote yesterday that there is, quote, tension, end quote, between Jones and Belichick right now, stemming from Jones going outside of the organization to seek help during the 2022 season when the Patriots were having some, shall we say, offensive struggles under Matt Patricia, the first-time play caller there. According to Yahoo Sports and WEEI's Tom Curran, who is a Patriots insider, it really, quote, bleeped Bill off, end quote, that Mac Jones went and sought quarterback coaching away from the New England Patriots.
Yeah, but did you see where he went? He went, from what I read earlier, went to Saban for some advice and some things like that. And I thought that Saban and Belichick were boys.
It's not going to matter to a guy like Hoodie, because Hoodie, much like Nick Saban, is a dictator, right? Now, I'd say it's worked out pretty well for Nick Saban. Hell, you could argue it's worked out pretty good for for Bill Belichick with Tom Brady. The dictator philosophy can work if you build a chemistry amongst your roster that reacts well to it. They did so in New England for a number of years. They certainly have done so at Alabama. Mac Jones, of course, a Bama guy. It's where he came from into the draft. So it doesn't shock me that Mac Jones, when the offense is struggling, Mac Jones is taking heat, even though Matt Patricia was, what's the phrase I want to use here? Bad at his job. It doesn't shock me that Mac Jones would go outside of the market for help. Chris Sims said that Mac Jones was most upset that the Patriots playbook was ridiculously simple and that Mac Jones was basically going, all right, in the face of a very simple playbook, what can I do to get better? Let me go check in with Nick, who does not have the world's most complicated offenses at Alabama. He just stocks it full of NFL draft picks so that they can beat you with backyard ball. So Bill Belichick is upset, allegedly. In fact, again, according to Tom Curran, Patriots insider on WEEI, is bleeped off that Mac Jones went outside of the house for help. Bill Belichick, there's one more angle to this story. Bob Kraft, not terribly long ago, said that he will do whatever it takes to get the Patriots back to winning ways. And there are a lot of reports out there right now that have started to say that if that means letting go of Bill Belichick, despite the fistful of rings he won, that Bob Kraft will make that move. That he is loyal to the program, not any one person. So he would be willing to move on from Belichick. If Belichick does indeed feel like there's heat to the fire, like the seat is hot now because of his failure to progress in the postseason after the departure of Tom Brady, now that a lot of, I will say, us believe that the argument's over, Belichick won because of Brady, not the other way around. If Belichick truly feels like the heat is on, Lamar Jackson's in play for the New England Patriots. Lamar Jackson's in play because the question's going to be if Hoodie can win with a franchise quarterback and Mac Jones ain't the guy, and Belichick's on a hot seat, Lamar's the only guy left. It ain't Aaron Rodgers. He's either a Jet or a Packer next year, likely a Jet. Who else is out there right now? Derek Carr's off the table. Jimmy Garoppolo's off the table. And the Patriots aren't going to trade all the way up to 2. Now, would Belichick take a roll on a Richardson or a Levis and let them start out of the gate when he's on the hot seat? I got to think no. And they're not going all the way to 2 to get Stroud or Young. So, and besides, I don't think Carolina or Texans are going to move out of that spot. I'm going to go ahead and write it down right now. Fearless prediction. Lonzo, Lamar Jackson's a New England Patriot next year.
No way. Absolutely no way.
We shall find out.
When you say next year, you don't mean this calendar year. You mean next year.
I mean, at the start of this upcoming season, Lamar Jackson will be a Patriot. Dirt Sheets this morning reporting that multiple talents have asked WWE for their release over the past 2 days. Third off, now we learned earlier this morning, there is an active investigation into the sale of WWE to Endeavor, the company that owns UFC, that could result potentially, and not just that contract being canceled and the sale not going through, but could result in criminal charges for some people involved. Could Vince McMahon be one of them? I don't know. Here's all I know, Lonzo. I don't particularly care who owns it. I don't particularly care who runs it. I just want my good TV show to be my good TV show again. And it's not going to be with Vincent McMahon at the helm. It's just not.
I completely agree. The next thing that's trending is Barbie.
So the trailer for the new Barbie movie dropped yesterday, and I'm going to be real with you. I have not watched it yet.
Nor I've seen it pop up, but on my Twitter feed, but I haven't watched it either.
Not even a little. I listen. I'm not against it at all.
Come on. You see a movie come out, you see the trailers, and you think automatically that thing is going to bomb.
I don't know if it will. I mean, think about it. Listen, Ryan Gosling is beloved by a lot of people. Margot Robbie is absolutely in fuego right now with the movies that she's been making. They've put together talent. I just don't know how you approach it.
It looks like a sarcastic take to Barbie, a satirical take, whatever, that they're going to go against all the, the different kinds of Barbies and all that kind of stuff. And I get that, but where's the appeal? What's the audience?
Yeah.
What is the demographic that's going to go see the Barbie movie?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
I got nothing.
I know you're not going to take your kids to it. And I just don't, I mean, unless you just want to go see Margot Robbie. I mean, that would be the only thing. Although I did see that John Cena may be cast in it. I don't know what part he's playing, but that's not enough either. All right. The next thing that's trending is Charlotte Flair.
Charlotte Flair, speaking of talent at the WWE, has apparently informed said company that she will be taking some time off and stepping away from the company for a while. I don't have a problem with that, and I'm not surprised. Charlotte's role in the company at this point is show back up after SummerSlam, win a belt off of somebody, and serve as the final boss for a Rhea Ripley-esque type talent at WrestleMania. She did a phenomenal job. That match with Rhea was spectacular. Go enjoy your time with Andrade y Ilolo.
I'm a little worried, though, that they're going to try to combine those belts, too.
I don't think they will. I think with two different TV networks for two different shows, both of them are going to want a top dog and a top lady on both shows.
But Rhea came out and was talking to Bianca.
That's fair.
So
it's fair. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's it for the show. Greenville Triumph on the road tonight in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. That game's going to be at 10:05 as they are out in Phoenix. If you're interested in joining a Discord to talk soccer with me tonight, I'll be up and running. Hit me up. Otherwise, we'll see you back here tomorrow to do it all over again on the Rob Brown Show and the Fan Upstate. Later, brother.
The donut wear off or donuts?
It did. I'm out of gas.
You blown up.
All right, guys. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. You're all spectacular people. And we will see you all back here tomorrow. Have a lovely rest of your Wednesday. See you tomorrow for Thursday. Bye.